hello. I seem to be streaming, so I'm just going to go with it. Here I go. I'm hopefully going to have Lucy joining us. It took me by surprise. I pressed the wrong button once again. It's this Mercury retrograde, which is certainly a challenge. And it seems like I've been live all the time. I didn't know I was live, so I'm just going to greetings, Los Angeles, Denmark, everybody, my loves. I'm going to have to let Lucy know so that she can come and moderate and help. And let's hope she's around. Lucy. Let's see if she's around. So welcome everybody. I was actually planning on going live this evening, Greek time, at 6:30 p.m. But since I pressed the wrong button and since you are all online with me and I can't reach Lucy, it's just one of those things, and I'm going to have to just live it in the moment, play here in the moment with you, and do what I was planning to do. Anyway, so welcome. Could I ask whether you can hear me clearly? How is the sound? How is the picture? Since I am on my own and I don't have Lucy with me right now, I'd appreciate just some feedback as to how this looks. Feel as though I'm not dressed right, nothing's quite right, but hey, Teddy's here. So when you've got Teddy, everything hopefully is going to be all right. So I don't know how you're experiencing this Mercury retrograde time. And maybe this wasn't the best time to start something new. I really should walk my own talk here. But I'm going to do something that is old in a new way. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I never usually stream at this time of the day. But hey, what the heck? It's time to live dangerously. And to know that you're improvising your life anyway, wherever you are. And since many of you really enjoyed the fact that I was swearing like a trooper while live last time and not knowing I was live. This time, okay, we're live. So, I wanted to talk to you about your August forecasts and what I planned to do. Maybe plans have to be changed, or I have to be willing to make changes to plans. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you your August forecasts. I'm going to go through each sign and tell you how it looks for you for the month of August. Because the months are going quickly, aren't they? Yes, we've got an eclipse in July coming up. I've done a July video about what's coming up in July, and it's an intense month. And August is too, in case you thought that it was going to be any different. So, let's just start with Aries. This feels a little scary, more than a little scary to do. Hi Heidi, sorry you're Pisces. You get to be very patient and wait till the end. But Mars is in Aries, and it's still direct at the moment, even though Mercury is backwards, and these two are square. So you might find yourself doing things you didn't think you were going to do. And Lucy is marvelous. It looks like she's just joined. Lucy, welcome. Are you here? Could you just say yes? So Mars makes things move quicker than you anticipate, and the square to Mercury makes you a little sometimes confused. Oh, I didn't quite expect that. I didn't think this was going to happen. I think that's certainly true of what's going on around us now. So, without further ado, I am going to now do my very best to do all the forecasts for all 12 signs. I usually do these in little separate bites, but I'm going to do all of you And you will know your sun sign. So you may know you're an Aries, you're a Taurus, you're a Gemini. You may know. Thank you, Lucy, for joining at short notice. So lucky to have her. But do you also know your ascendant sign? Your ascendant sign is the sign upon which the general forecasts for the month are based. So if you can watch your ascending sign first, and then your sun sign, and then your moon sign, then you might have 3 monthly forecasts to follow. If you don't know your ascendant, you can go to my website. Lucy's going to put those details in. Go to my website and go to reports and free report, and you'll enter in your details, your date, time and place of birth, and then you will find out what your ascendant is, where your moon is. So these are the 3 important points: sun, moon, ascendant. And if you can, follow all 3 and take the bits from each one that resonate with you. So those are my recommendations, just getting started. So let's start with Aries. This is Aries ascendant, Aries sun, Aries moon. So, okay, this is just new. So thank you for being patient with me, even though Mars is in Aries. I'm just going to tune in now and come up with your forecast. So, Aries, Mars in your sign for many months, but all through the month of August. So, Mars in that first house for you. It's going to be important, Aries, that you find a way to express your emotions, that you find a way just to let it all hang out, that you make sure that you, if you're feeling angry, you're feeling frustrated, that you don't necessarily take it out on somebody personally. In fact, please don't do that. But if you can dance and you can maybe shout or sing or do something that enables you just to fluff it off, then you'll be able to feel as though this Mars in Aries is not so inhibited. So Mars in Aries, you're going to want to do things. You're going to want to be busy this month of August. Thank you very much, Angie. Appreciate your support in this unknown territory. So you're going to be busy. You're going to be wanting to do things, and it's going to be important maybe for you to prioritize what is important. Where do I need to put my energy? Think every day when you get up, okay, where would be the best use of my energy? Uranus in your second house, been there for a while, it's going to be there for many years. This is really an important time to think about doing something creatively with your finances. Maybe you could start a business. Maybe you've got an idea that you want to share, that you're inspired about. This is the month to do it. On the 3rd of the month, we've got a full moon in Aquarius. And this full moon is in your 11th house, Aries. So the full moon in the 11th is all about shining a light. Thank you, Mariana. Shining a light on your communications with people far and wide. Communities that you belong to. Online organizations, groups. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time for some changes in your friendships, in the people that are your acquaintances, your tribe. You might find your tribe during this time. That full moon may even trigger that for you. On the 5th of the month, we've got Mercury going into your 5th house of creativity, joining the Sun also in the 5th house. And this is a wonderful time for doing anything creatively, doing anything that brings out the child within you, having fun, playing, not being too serious. People are phoning me now. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Lucy, hold the fire. This is, I don't want, I think this is a delivery. Excuse me. This is Mercury retrograde once again. Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Kalimera, ne? Είσαι έξω? Εντάξει, ένα λεπτάκι. Excuse me one moment, please. I don't know how to put this on hold. I just have to go outside for a moment to sign for something. And you may find, all of you, because we've got this square going on with Mars, all during August, that your energy wants to go in one direction and you're being pulled in another. So what you're seeing here is indicative of the kind of energy during July and August. So please excuse me, 1 minute. Lucy's going to carry on talking to you whilst I go and deal with the man outside. Oh, can you believe this? Okay. God, I'm so sorry, guys. Thank you for being so patient with me. There is nobody outside, so I don't really know what's going on. If I have to, I'll let Nina deal with it. Oh, we love Lucy. Thank you, Lucy, for saving the day. When you do something new, and I really tried to prepare for this a great deal. You can see I've done tons of little drawings and diagrams to remind me of things. So the joys of live streaming. Aries. There's a lot of focus on this 5th house for you this month. And the 5th house has to do with being an entrepreneur, has to do with having your own business, has to do with being with children, bringing out the child within you, and doing anything creative. It's a very strong focus for you this month. On the 8th of the month, Venus will go into your 4th house, making this a wonderful time for beautifying your home in some way. Doing something that makes your home surroundings feel welcoming, feel loving. Colour, anything that brings colour to how you are in your environment will be very soothing for you, and also an opportunity to do something creatively. On the 18th of the month, we've got a new moon in Leo in that 5th house. So this is another opportunity here of an injection of bringing more play into your world. Play, having fun, remembering to cuddle some stuffed toys. Or not even a stuffed toy. Maybe you've got a real kitty or dog or somebody you can cuddle. But remembering to bring that uplifting energy. On the 20th of the month, things begin from the 20th onwards to move into your 6th house. Aries. This is the Aries forecast. And in your 6th house, this has to do with taking care of your health, your well-being. There might be a new focus on your work in a different way. And then on the 23rd, the sun going into your 6th house. So this has to do with how could you contribute? How can you make a difference? Our world's going through such huge changes right now. Where do you feel you could actually do something in your individual world that could be helpful to other people? Mars will go retrograde next month, that's your ruler, but more about that in September's forecast. So there you have it, lovely Aries, that is your forecast. Aries rising, remember, Aries moon, Aries sun. If you haven't already checked out your your free mini reading, Lucy, please put the link in. I'd appreciate that for where they can get their free report and free chart on the website. Whew. Excuse me one moment. Uranus in Taurus, shaking up the earth, shaking up everything. And always taking a moment to say a blessing for the little things in your life. Just noticing. So thank you for the water. Thank you guys for being with me. And now I'm going to move on to Taurus. This is for Taurus Ascendant, Taurus Sun and Taurus Moon. So for many Taurians, there's been a lot of upheaval. We know there's a lot of upheaval going on globally, but there's a lot of upheaval generally happening. And for you particularly, and Taurus, you are learning now, and will be doing until 2025, how to be more flexible, how to go more with the flow, how not to dig your heels in too much when you can see that you're losing control and you need to just surrender. So lovely Taurians, here we go. On the 3rd of the month, this full moon is in your 10th house. This is shining a light on your destiny path. What do you want to do with your career? You might be changing your career direction in some way. You might decide, hey, you know, I need to restructure how I work. And of course, there's a big opportunity to be doing that right now with the restructuring of more things happening in the home, more work happening from home. But for you, what do you feel is your destiny path? Yeah, your destiny path is becoming more revealed to you, Taurians, during this month of August. On the 5th of the month, we have got Mercury going into your 4th house. Big focus on the 4th house this month, Taurus. So some of you might be moving home, thinking of moving home, planning a move of home. And if for some reason you're not able to move home, then you might make some changes to where you are. But certainly you may be feeling, how can I make myself feel more secure? What can I do to feel safer? These may be questions that are coming up. There could be some changes to do with home, to do with family, to do with the people who are closest to you. And on the 8th of the month, we've got Venus going into your 3rd house, lovely Taurians. So Taurus, Venus in the 3rd has to do with you learning something new. This would be a great time to study, to maybe do an online course, maybe give your own online course. But a wonderful time to really think about, what would I like to learn? What would I enjoy learning at this time? And then enrolling. On the 18th of the month, we've got a new moon happening in this 4th house again. So this is new beginnings to do with your home, your family, the people closest to you. Maybe you get some good news about somebody who is close to you. Or maybe you've got some good news that you're going to share with people that you love. On the 20th of the month, we've got Mercury going into this 5th house, and the Sun going into your 5th house. So the 5th house, towards the end of the month, activated for you, lovely Taurians. Good time for starting a new business, for getting a creative idea moving. Good time for painting, for decorating, for doing something creatively with your hands, maybe to do something musically. You're very musical very often, lovely Taurians. Now, Mars is going to be in this 12th house for a long time, Taurians. Excuse me, we have another interruption. Mercury is retrograde, please forgive me. Γεια σας.
Γεια σας, το tema tu afisha mesha ti borda, eti?
Είσαι έξω, λέω φόρος Ποσειδώνος 12.
Ναι, το άφησα μέσα στην πόρτα το θέμα.
Είναι μέσα, εντάξει.
Ναι, εντάξει, ωραία.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Γεια σας, γεια σας. Excuse me. Uranus in Taurus, my moon is in Taurus, you see. So I'm having to learn to be very adaptable and to ride through what is very challenging. Yes, I hate being unprofessional and I hate having interruptions and I like to have everything prepared. But now you can see that Taurians, as I said at the beginning of your Taurus forecast here, are having to get used to disruptions and somehow finding a way to enjoy being disrupted. I haven't quite got the hang of it yet, but I'm working on it. So Mars is going to be in your 12th house for quite many months, dear Taurians. So it's going to be important for you to find ways of releasing your energy. Anything where you are feeling frustrated, a little angry, how are you going to release that energy? That's going to be important. So it's going to be a good time, Taurians, to put energy into studying astrology, learning anything metaphysical, doing something that really goes into this subconscious, unconscious area. And astrology, numerology, tarot, all these areas are fabulous areas to study and get your teeth into and really learn more about. You might get into channeling. There we have it, lovely Taurians. Whew. Now we'll go on to our lovely Geminis. Welcome, Geminis. So for you, Gemini, the month starts off with Venus in your sign for the first week. So this makes you popular. It makes you very good for anything to do with love, to do with being able to bring harmony and peacefulness wherever you go. Yes, you can wave a magic wand and things can just fall naturally into place for you. And on the 3rd of the month, this new moon is going to be in your full moon is in your 9th house. And the full moon in the 9th house has to do with your higher learning. What is it that you'd like to learn? What is it that you know a little of that you'd like to take to a higher level? It's shining a light on your spiritual path. What would you like to learn? What will take you onto this, beam you onto a wider platform? You might be interested in healing frequencies, energy frequencies, quantum energies. It's wonderful for learning, for publishing, for getting a book out, for writing that book. On the 5th of the month, we've got the Sun already in Aries, in the 3rd house, and Mercury going into your 3rd house. So this 3rd house has everything to do with learning. This is a really good time for studying, for learning, for teaching, for sharing something with others that you're excited about, that you're inspired about. And goodness knows, Geminis, you love information. And when you're excited about it, you can sell something to anybody and everybody, easily. This is a really good month, especially as the new moon is also in this 3rd house for you. So big focus on this 3rd house of learning, studying, teaching, sharing, communicating. You might find yourself doing something with technology. And then as the month moves on the 20th, we've got Mercury going into the 4th, and the 23rd, the Sun into your 4th house. So this has everything to do with putting a focus on your home. You might be thinking of moving. You might want to change your furniture around. You might want to get new carpets. You might want to paint your house. But there's opportunities for new beginnings with your family, your loved ones, the people around you. What can you do to feel safer, to feel calmer? It's going to be an important month for learning to meditate and to still that very, very busy mind that you have. Lovely Geminis. It's always on the go. Mars is in your 11th house all month, making this a wonderful month for forging new connections with people, new communities, finding your tribe, putting energy into that, finding people that are like-minded to you, and really doing something about it, taking a leadership role. Mars in your chart shows where you need to take the lead and say, come on guys, this is exciting, and I want to share it with you. It's also a good time for creating new dreams, new wishes. It's things that you're really envisioning for our planet now as we go through these massive rebirthing transformations. And now, I really feel as though you're in my lounge with me. Yeah, you're with me. You're in my home. No matter whether you're live with me now or whether you're listening to this in some future time, which will of course be your now. It's just such a pleasure to have you in my home. And I hope you feel welcomed. So sit back and get ready to enjoy now the Cancer forecast. Now this is for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, and Cancer Moon. So, lovely Cancerians. We start out with the 3rd of the month with a full moon happening, a lot happening for you in, the full moon is happening in the 8th house, but there's a lot to do with money this month for you Cancerians. Your finances, your money, your security. So this full moon in your 8th house is shining a light on anything that's been suppressed, that's been held in, that needs to be released. Maybe something comes to light that you've not maybe wanted to look at, but now it's time to let it out. You might be writing about something that's in your past, but it's past now and you can write about it and release it and feel as though you are free of the constraints of the past and the pains and the things that you've been through. You may also have something come to a head with a business partner. So anything to do with partnerships may come to a head for something to be released. This would not be the best time for getting into a new business partnership. Now, there's a lot of focus from the 5th of the month. Mercury goes into the 2nd house. We've also got the Sun in that 2nd house. So this is a wonderful month for starting a business, for doing anything with your creative skills and abilities. Any talents that you've got that you've not explored, Cancerians, this is the time to do it. Explore those talents and gifts. It's a really important time to remember to be grateful. If ever you could instigate a ritual, a practice in your world to do gratitudes, this would be it. This would be the time where you can get some traction, because on the 18th of the month, we've got a new moon in your 2nd house. So this is bringing new money, new possibilities for making money, new streams of income. And it's just going to be important that you activate your creativity when looking for those new streams. We are going through lots of challenges globally, but always at a time of challenge, there are also many, many wonderful opportunities to be had. So on the 8th of the month, Venus comes into your sign, lovely Cancerians. Oh, that's wonderful when you have Venus in your sign. It means that you're popular. It means that you can attract people to you, attract love to you, attract loving relationships, loving interactions, kindness, harmony, peace. All of these things are much easier to attain at this time. So make the most of that lovely Venus in your sign, and also a good time for doing something that just makes you feel good, for pampering yourself. Yeah, really important time to do that from the 8th of the month, lovely Cancerians. So on the 18th of the month, as I said, the Sun into that second house. So I think there's a lot of opportunities financially for this month if you're ready to look for them. On the 20th of the month and the 23rd, we've got Mercury and then the Sun coming to the 3rd house. So this is activating learning for you, studying. What would you like to study? What would you like to teach? What would you like to share? Good time for communications, for connecting with your neighbours, your immediate environment. Mars is in your 10th house. We'll be there for many months, but all this month there. So good time for putting energy into maybe a new career direction, and also energy into what's my destiny path now as this new world is unfolding. There you have it, lovely Cancerians. Woo-hoo! My goodness. This is quite something, doing it in all in one chunk. I'm hoping that I'm going to have the focus and the concentration to be able to do it. I hope you'll forgive me for taking water breaks, because this takes a lot of mental focus. Isn't it wonderful that really all our needs are met? So many of the things that I don't notice, but I notice more when I'm live with you, because I'm right in the moment now with you. So Leos, my wonderful, wonderful Leos, welcome to your August forecast. On the 3rd of the month, we've got a full moon happening in your 7th house of relationships. This is shining a light on your relationship area. Something may come to a head in your relationships, or a particular intimate relationship. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe you need to reinvent and put some new energy into the relationship. Or maybe it's time for a change, for something new. It could be the end of a relationship. But certainly with a full moon in that 7th house, you're going to be looking at your relationships from a new perspective. On the 5th of the month, of course, Leos, it's birthday time. And how could I be so remiss and not wish you happy, happy birthday right at the beginning? Probably because my brain is having to go overtime to tune in and to do this live without the prepared stuff that goes on. I have done a lot of preparation, but delivering it live. So much happening in your 1st house this month. Lovely, lovely Leos. This is about shining a light on you. This is a time where you really put the focus on you, the limelight, your needs, what's important to you, what you want from this year ahead, what you envisage for yourself. Pampering yourself, doing something nice, something uplifting, something inspiring. On the 8th of the month, Venus will go into your 12th house. Oh, this is a wonderful time for delving into your dreams, for doing some journaling, for getting into channeling, maybe, astrology, numerology, all of these wonderful areas. Psychology, going into the unknown. Wonderful time for also remembering to find time in nature, to be peaceful, to remember to breathe, to relax, and just to enjoy letting go, not having to be always doing, going. On the 18th, we've got this new moon in Leo, so this is a wonderful time for new beginnings for you. Good time for launching anything, for starting something, for getting into something new. And then as we move towards the 20th of the month, we've got Mercury going into your second house on the 23rd. The Sun goes into your second house. And this is a time now where you're putting focus on your talents, your gifts. How can you activate more of your talents and then make them into something that might make you some money? Good time for creating an extra stream of income. And you might get some good news financially, maybe a bonus, a promotion, something. All month, Mars is in your 9th house and will be there for several months actually until January, but it's going to go retrograde next month. More about that next month. But 9th house, Mars, very good time for putting energy into your spiritual path, your spiritual direction. Very good time for putting energy into anything international. You might be doing some international business. It's a great time for publishing something, for pushing forward with learning something to a higher level, taking your knowledge of something to a higher level, and really blasting and seeing more of your world from a wider perspective. There you have it, my lovely Leos. Woo-hoo! Thank you guys for being patient here as I experiment with this new format, doing these monthly forecasts live. So Lucy, if you could please once again enter in how everybody can find their free chart online from my website. If you go under reports, free report at the beginning, and enter in your date, time and place of birth, and you'll find your ascendant, your moon, and you'll know your sun sign, of course. But make sure you watch all three, your sun, your moon, and your ascending sign. And this will give you and take the bits from each that resonate the most for you. This will give you a wider context for these monthly forecasts and hopefully make them more meaningful for you. So lovely Virgos, welcome, welcome, welcome. And early Virgos, of course, it will be birthday time for you later in the month. So it starts out the month with a full moon in your 6th house. And this is shining a light on your health, your well-being. Maybe there are more things you could do for your health and your well-being. Maybe you need to put a little more energy into your diet, your exercise. It's also shining a light on your work area. Maybe there's some changes you need to make to your daily habit patterns. It's a good time for putting in some new rituals. Maybe doing yoga, maybe meditating, doing gratitudes, dancing. Whatever it is that uplifts your cells so that your health and well-being can go up a notch. And then we've got a lot of focus this month. On the 5th of the month, Mercury going to join the Sun in this 12th house. And on the 18th of the month, there will be a new moon in the 12th house. So big activation in this 12th house for you. 6th, 12th house, Virgo. The 12th house has to do with the secret. Going into all those secret sides of you. Going into your dream world, your subconscious, your unconscious. And bringing it out. Bringing it out so that you can maybe learn more about how you tick. It's a wonderful time for introspection, for peacefulness, for going into nature, for doing something where you just get in tune with the now moment and you relax into your being. Instead of running around doing, because Virgos, you like to feel so productive. It's time to remember to be. And just enjoy that being. Remembering to breathe, to focus on your breath. Yeah. I'd just like to give a shout out. Thank you, Sherry Antoinette. You're doing such a lovely job at helping Lucy. Lucy's had no notice today about the moderation. Lucy, you are a superstar. Thank you for jumping on immediately, but also thank you for those of you in the community here, online, who are just jumping in and helping. To me, this is a wonderful example of this selflessness, which is the highest expression of Virgo. This desire to serve, to help, to really do something selfless, that is selfless. I can't get my words out with Mercury retro. It's a good excuse. Mercury retro. Mother Teresa, a wonderful example of a Virgo. Yeah, look how selflessly she worked for the poor and the sick. And this is that highest expression for you. Oh, goodness gracious, excuse me one moment. Ναι, Νίκος μου. Εντάξει, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Εντάξει, ευχαριστώ. Γεια σας, γεια σας. Excuse me for these interruptions. I'm so sorry, but I thank you for you're in my living room, you're live with me, you're seeing what goes on in the world of Bracha and the kinds of interruptions that happen, and I think this probably happens for you too. And this is why I take an offline day of 25 hours every week where I can just unwind the interruptions. So I'm going to ask my friend Nina, who will have to go down and take this delivery for me, so that we don't get another, if I can remember, interruption. Lucy, thank you for holding the fort, as I need to just, so we don't get, because he's arriving in 5 minutes. Pendelepta means he's coming in 5 minutes. Let's hope that she's not on the phone. Yeah. And so remembering to breathe and come into the present moment. And that no matter what's going on, it's all right. And that's very much this energy of the Virgo forecast with all these 12th house energies. And now she's not answering. Bloody marvellous. Oh, people are loving the interruptions. I have to say my Taurus moon is not enjoying it. And my friend is not answering, so I'm going to have to see if I can find her on the other line so that I don't have to leave you here. See, Virgo is a mutable sign, and Virgo is much more able to go with the flow than a Taurus is, or a Leo is. Yes, much more able, the mutable signs, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. You're much more able, and Pisces, to go with the flow than the fixed signs. Yeah, it's harder when you're a fixed sign. But let's hope my friend is going to answer this phone now. She didn't answer my other. She's Gemini rising. She's always somewhere. Yeah, well, okay. She's not answering. I tried. We are going to get yet another interruption, and I'm so grateful that you're even staying online with me, but you are really seeing what goes on. And okay, Virgo. So we've got this 12th house axis, and then on the 20th of the month, Mercury goes into your first house, and on the 23rd, the Sun coming into your first house. So this is birthday time, and very important to do something nurturing for you. Something that's pampering. You're shining a light on the next year ahead. Birthdays are very important times. And the year ahead, what do you want for yourself? What do you want in this new arena? A new world. We're not going back to an old world, guys. We're moving into a new world. And what is it that you are wishing and hoping for, Virgos? And what do you feel is going to be your unique place as we move into this next part of 2020? Mars in your 8th all month. Good time for doing research, getting to the bottom of something, really digging beyond the surface. You're going to find out some very interesting things if you've got the patience. So thank you, Virgos, for a lot of patience there. Mars is in Aries for the next 6 months. We're going to have to learn patience. So thank you for having patience with me. I am going to warn you in a moment. The fishman Nikos is going to arrive, and I'm going to have to go down and give him €12 because my friend isn't answering the phone. So there will be another interruption, but this time I can warn you about it. And I'm glad that you're laughing with me. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. So, halfway through, 6 signs, now another 6. Phew! Libras, my lovely Libras, welcome. This is your August forecast. So we start out with a full moon in your 5th house, shining a light on your creativity, dear ones. It's important to, you might be shown areas where you could be more creative. It's shining a light on you being maybe a little too serious. It's a good time for playing, for doing things with children, for bringing out the child within you. And just one moment, I must just now go and pay him. He is here. Signal me, everybody. One moment. Lucy, please hold the fort. And anybody else who is online who'd like to join in, I would appreciate that help. I'm coming down now to go and pay him. Nina, move! Nina, move! Nina! You say XO? Oh, good, thank you. Can you deal with the fishman to pay him? Here is the money. The money is here. Thank you. Zalectajnie do. Taxi. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your patience. And my friend is there to take it. And goodness knows, I don't know how I've got 207 likes. I don't feel as though I've deserved it. I think you've been very, very, very generous with me. So thank you. So lovely Libras, we are back. And the full moon in the 5th house, it's just reminding you to have fun, to play, to do things that make you smile, and to remember to smile and not to forget to smile. It's all so easy to get, really focused in here on this, not to remember that there's so much around you to smile about. So, on the, where did I put these notes? There they are. Oh, the joys of being live. We have got a lot of focus for you this month happening in this 11th house, lovely Libras, 5th, 11th. So the sun is already in this 11th. On the 8th, on the 5th, Mercury joining it. And on the 18th, we'll have a new moon in the 11th. So this is a wonderful time for creating community, for linking up with your tribe, for joining new communities online. You might be working with a team of people towards a really powerful goal. You might get involved with community works of some kind. You might be working with something that's your dream group of people and creating dreams and bringing dreams to reality. It's a powerful time to really connect in and to do those kinds of experiments where you meditate together. You might lead up a meditation with people to really change the frequency. It's powerful, it's exciting. And you might meet some new people, some exciting new people coming into your life, lovely Librans, potentially this month. And on the 20th of the month, as we begin to move, I've got myself muddled. So let me just calm one moment. This was just too many interruptions. And let me back up. So the 11th house activity that I talked about is from the 20th of the month for you, lovely Libras. Thanks for being patient. But previously in the month, the energy is in the 10th house. Am I right? Or am I wrong? I've just got to take a breather because I'm live here and the houses are spinning in my head. So let me just stick with where I am here. 11th and 12th. Okay. Forget everything I said. Cancel clear about the 10th house. Everything was correct with the 11th. And towards the end of the month, everything going into the 12th house. Oh my goodness, please forgive me here. Just got to continue. I remember being trained as a professional concert pianist. And you're trained that no matter whether you make 100 mistakes in a piece, you have to get to the end of it. So here I go. I'm making the mistakes and I'm owning to the mistakes, not hiding it. Usually you would not own to it, but I have to own to it here because you can all check me. But if you're playing that piece, or you're playing a concerto, you've got to just continue no matter what happens. So where in your life do you need to continue no matter what's going on? Sometimes you just have to. So on the 20th of the month, lovely Librans, Mercury going into your 12th, and on the 23rd of the month, we've got the Sun going into the 12th house. I'm live. Everybody knows we're getting lots of interruptions. Thank you for getting the fish. Thank you. So at the end of the month, Librans, it's going to be important to remember to release, to let go, to surrender, and to enjoy quiet space, quiet time. Yeah. You're very busy trying to keep the peace, trying to keep everybody happy, wanting everybody to love you. And it's important to love yourself and to take time out. It's going to be very important during this last part of the month. And a good time for studying astrology, numerology, tarot, channeling, ETs. Very, very good time for that. And Mars is in your 7th house for many months to come, lovely Libras. So it's a good time to put energy into your relationships. Remember that with Mars there, not to be precipitous, not to rush into something. And you might have to be very patient with somebody. Somebody may test your patience. And you may have to really speak out for what's important to you and not just do anything to keep the peace. Keep that in mind. So, there we are. Lovely, lovely Libras. I've got to say thank you so much, guys. You are keeping me going. Your energy here with me live is enabling me to, keep upping the ante, and I just appreciate all your help. So, Scorpios, woohoo! Lovely Scorpios, welcome. So remember, this is Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon. Lovely Lucy, could you put in that link once again? Thank you, Lucy, so much for your support through this. Yeah, psychologically, the mind support that you're giving me and the heart support makes a huge, huge difference. So just know that you're doing something in this equation. So Scorpios, we start out the month with a full moon in your 4th house, shining a light on your home, your family. Maybe something coming to a head. You might be moving, or you might be thinking of moving, or you might be changing your environment in some way. You might be moving your office to your home. You might be creating a new office somewhere, but something changing to do with your security, your stability, possibly some much needed changes here. And maybe some kind of a communication needed with family in some way. There's a lot of focus for you, Scorpios, in this 4th, 10th house. This has to do with your home, your family, your home base, and your career, your work, what you want to do out in the world. Mercury in your on the 5th going into this 10th house, the sun is already there, and on the 18th of the month there will be a new moon in the 10th house. So you might be changing your career altogether. It's a good time for launching a new career, for going for interviews, for making connections with headhunters. It's a very good time for thinking about, where's my destiny path? What do I want to do that's new in this world now? What do I want to do that is really, that excites me, that will be a contribution to the new world that we're creating together? It's about reinventing your career in some way, lovely Scorpios. On the 8th of the month, Venus goes into the 9th house, and this is all about, it's a wonderful time for learning, for studying, for taking your education into a higher level. You might sign up for an online course, or you might be giving that online course. Sherry Antoinette, thank you so much. You are doing a terrific job of helping with the unfolding of this live and helping with the different signs. And you're helping Lucy here. Lucy, you're doing a terrific job. But the two of you, thank you so much, really. And thank you to those online who are giving energy to this. Really. Uranus in Taurus for these next 5 years. Deep gratitude to you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Heman. Thank you. So, Scorpios. So, Venus on the 8th going into this 8th house for you. Oh, this could bode well financially. A partner may get some good news financially. It's a good time for raising money, an investment, a sponsorship, a grant. It's also a good time for doing some deep research into a subject you're really interested in. And Scorpios, you love research anyway. So this is the perfect time for doing it from the 8th of the month. And then as we move towards the 20th of the month, we've got Mercury coming to the 11th. And on the 23rd, we've got the Sun coming into your 11th house. So this is a wonderful time as we move towards the end of the month for joining new communities, working in a team, a group of people, for finding like-minded people to work with, to connect with, for finding your tribe, but for doing something in the community together where you feel as though you're doing something that's valuable. It's time to resuscitate your dreams, your wishes. What are you wanting as we move into this new era? And a wonderful time for connecting up with new friends and old friends. Mars, your ruler, is in the 6th house this month and for several months to come. So it's going to be important to put some energy into exercise, dancing, letting off steam, because you might have a lot of steam that you need to release. So there you have it, lovely, lovely Scorpios. Ha-ha! And now we're on to Sagittarius. Welcome, Sagittarius. Remember, it's for Sag Sun, Sag Rising, Sag Moon. Make sure you watch all 3 forecasts. For those of you, of course, that are a triple of one sign, you only need to watch 1 forecast. But most people will watch at least 2 forecasts, if not 3. Thank you, Lucy. She's doing such a terrific job. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. So, lovely Sagittarius. We start the month out on the 3rd of the month with a full moon happening in your 3rd house. Big focus on 3rd, 9th houses. So this is a month about learning, studying, teaching, training, sharing information. Powerful time for working with your mind. This full moon is shining a light on this very busy mind that you've got. Yes, it jumps from this to that to the other. What can you do to calm that mind? What can you do to get some spaces to become aware of when you are being run with your mind, overrun with your mind? So this is a really good month for working with meditation, mindfulness, your breath, becoming aware of being in the moment. Wonderful time for that. On the 5th of the month, Mercury joins the Sun in your 9th house. On the 18th of the month, we'll have a new moon in that 9th house. This is new beginnings. You might meet somebody from overseas. Of course, we're doing that all the time now, but more and more, connecting with people from far and wide. It's a great time for launching a book, for writing that book, for launching a new channel. You might launch your own YouTube channel. It's a great time for being connected with people far and wide. You might launch an international business. It's a good time for teaching and inspiring others. And also a good time for developing your spirituality, your spiritual side. You might find yourself on this deeper quest for meaning in your world. On the 8th of the month, Venus is going to go, well, the first week of the month, Venus is in your 7th. This is a great time for relationships, for meeting somebody new, for bringing romance into your life. Good time for bringing peace and harmony into existing relationships. And that's relationships with everybody. And then on the 8th of the month, Venus going into your 8th house. Really good time for exploring more of your sexuality, your sensuality, discovering more of the senses and really exploring them further, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of touch, exploring that further. On the 20th of the month, we've got the Sun and Mercury going into your 10th, and on the 23rd, the Sun going into the 10th house. This is shining a light on new possibilities for your career, your work. What would you like to do now? So much is changing with jobs and careers. What would you like to do? What do you feel is your destiny path? What do you enjoy? This is encouraging you now to really look at this and maybe make some changes. And Mars all month in your 5th house and for many months. And there will be the retrograde next month, but more about that next month. But Mars in the 5th. Oh, Sagittarius, you must put energy into your creative endeavors. You are the natural comic of the zodiac. We need you for your jokes and your joviality, and for seeing the world as the glass half full rather than half empty. So really remembering to put energy, focused energy on joyfulness and bringing that into your life and to the people around you. There you have it, lovely Sagittarius. Woo-hoo! Rain. Welcome to those of you joining now. You're in my room, you're in my lounge. It's very hot here today in Greece. Of course, it's summertime, so I've got the blinds down. Otherwise, I would give you a shot of the view from the window. But maybe next time, that's why I was going to do it later in the day. But that's okay. Another time, I will show you a picture of the sea that I can see from the window. So, lovely, lovely. Dear ones, thank you, Sherry Antoinette, doing super job. Thank you, Lucy, doing awesome job. And thank you all of you for being live with me and for putting up with the interruptions and the unknowns. So if I can just remind you just to come back into the present moment with me here now. And to have a breath. And just to relax. Because it helps me to relax in with you. I want you to feel that you are my friends, my family, in my living room together with me. And how grateful I am that you are with me. So, I'm being asked, where am I? Ime sti marathona. I'm in Marathon, Marathonas, a very famous place where the marathon originates. And my goodness, I feel like I'm doing a marathon here today with you guys, live through all the signs. Goodness. So I'm in the right place for doing a marathon. Capricorns, this is your forecast. Capricorn Sun, Moon and Ascendant. We are here. So, on the 3rd of the month, we have got a full moon happening in your second house. The second house of money, finance, security. This is shining a light on this whole area for you. It might be time to look at your finances. Do you need to make some changes? It's going to be very important to remember to be grateful for all the things that you do have. All the things in your life that are gifts and blessings from your Creator. Because there may be some insecurities that come up. Some instabilities. And the best way to deal with instabilities is always to be conscious and aware of the abundance that's all around you. I'm so grateful for Teddy, for keeping me company and for soothing me as we go through this together. So, this second house of money for you, Capricorns, may well bring something to light where you need to make some changes financially. And also, new opportunities can come through that. And especially if you appreciate the abundance around you, you'll notice flowers just blossoming and opportunities for new streams of income. On the 5th of the month, we've got Mercury coming into the 8th, the Sun already there, and on the 18th there will be a new moon coming into this 8th house for you Capricorns. So the 8th house has to do with digging deep. Where in your life do you need to dig a little deeper? What do you need to do some research about? Do you need to do some research about your health, your well-being? Do you need to do some deeper research about something that you'd like to go into with your career, your work? Do you need to do some research about what's going on in the world and where's my place in this new world? It's a great time for launching a new business. It's going to be important to do a lot of research. That's going to be one of your big tasks this month, dear Capricorns. And if you're willing to do it, you're going to get some great new information that will propel you into some new and exciting areas that could be very lucrative for you and very joyful for you and fulfilling. So on the 8th of the month, we've got Venus coming into the 7th house of relationships. Beautiful place for Venus. It's great for romance, For those of you who are locked down, it might be a long-distance romance. It's great for bringing peace and harmony into your one-to-one relationships. It's great for selling anything, for sharing anything that's important to you. Really exciting with Venus in that 7th. You can bring peace where there is disharmony. You can bring peace where feathers have been ruffled. Oh, thank you very much, Roller Girl. Really appreciate this. Thank you. And on the 20th of the month, as we move towards the end of the month, the 20th, 23rd, we've got Mercury and then the Sun going into your 9th house, lovely Capricorns. So this is a wonderful time for exploring further education. What would you like to learn? What would you like to study? What would you like to teach? What would you like to share? Wonderful time for enhancing your education in some way. And you might find yourself going deeper into your spiritual path. The 9th house has everything to do with a quest for meaning, of purpose, of depth. So seek that meaning. This is a real digging month, lovely Capricorns. And all month, and for many months to come, next month the retrograde, more about that next month, but Mars in the 4th. So you might be feeling restless. You might want to travel or go somewhere, you might not be able to. So put energy into your home. Do repairs, do revitalizing, paint. Do anything where you can let off steam. Because you're going to be able to need to let off steam. That is going to be important. And make sure that you are gentle with family and loved ones. Because things may just hot up in that arena. There you have it, my lovely Capricorns. Woohoo! Ha-ha! This is getting to be fun. I was really rather frightened about it at the beginning, I have to say. Quite scary, but now, with all your support, I'm really enjoying it, so thank you. And thank you, Lucy, and thank you, Sherry Antoinette, for all your support. So Aquarius, we start out the month on the 3rd with a full moon in your sign. Full moon is shining a light on you. What do you need to change in your world so that you can feel more fulfilled, more gratified? It's shining a light maybe on a relationship, on your finances, on your health, but there's something that needs to be looked at. Full moons in your sign always push you to look at something maybe that you don't want to look at. Or it brings something to a head that you've been working on. Something that you have been really assiduously working on. It brings it to fruition at this time. On the 5th of the month, we've got a lot going on in this first house that is about you. What do you need? Pampering yourself, taking care of your emotional, psychological, physical needs. And also, on the 5th of the month, Mercury joining the Sun in your relationship house. And on the 18th, a new moon in the relationship house. So this is an opportunity for new beginnings with a relationship. You might start a new relationship, or you may reinvigorate and rejuvenate an existing relationship. A really great time for just putting some fresh air and new ideas and being creative in your relationships. And it really can be a very positive time as long as you are sure that you're getting your needs met and at the same time there is a balance between the needs of the people around you or the person in your life. But certainly an opportunity for some exciting new beginnings. On the 8th of the month, we've got Venus going into your 6th house. This is a wonderful time for doing anything that involves service, helping others in some way. It's a great time for doing something nice for your physical well-being. Maybe it's working out, but maybe you enjoy dancing or yoga or Tai Chi, but finding new ways of nurturing your physical body so that you enjoy. So if you don't like the gym, and many of us can't go to the gym now anyway, but don't do exercise that you don't enjoy. Be creative and find something that you do enjoy. And that's the way to use Venus in the 6th house. You might find yourself extra addicted or attracted to sweet things because Venus likes sweet things. Just the heads up on that. Now, on the 20th of the month, we've got Mercury going into your 8th house, and on the 23rd, the Sun. So as we move towards the end of the month, lovely Aquarius, we've got this focus on the deeper meaning of life. Good time for doing some deep research. You might be going into a business partnership with somebody. Have you done enough research? You might get some sponsorship from somebody. You might hear some good news financially. Somebody wanting to invest in you, to help you in some way. And all month, Mars, and for several months ahead, Mars in this 3rd house. So Mars in the 3rd house, Aquarians, really good time for putting energy into communications, writing, teaching, sharing, learning. Consciously putting energy into that. And being aware of what are you sharing. Are you sharing things that are uplifting? Or are you putting fear into the minds of others? To be really conscious of that. And if you use information consciously, there's nothing you can't accomplish with that Mars in the 3rd. It's really good for sharing information far and wide. Powerful, powerful. Woohoo! So there you have it, lovely Aquarians. And now finally, and certainly last but not least, lovely Pisceans. You've waited a long time here. Thank you for your patience. In this marathon, in Mr. Marathonas, I certainly feel as though I'm living in marathon here. And I shall just take one moment to come completely into my body. You might want to do the same here with me now. Thank you for all your patience. And so lovely Pisces, the month starts out with a full moon in your 12th house. So the full moon is in the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of secrets. So a secret may come to light. You may have a very powerful dream that's prophetic in some way that helps you. It's bringing to light things that have maybe been swept under the carpet for a while, and they need to come out and say hello. So really good time for doing anything. Thank you very much, mosquitoes and butterflies. Thank you. Doing anything that involves metaphysics, being in nature, studying astrology, reading, journaling, writing, all kinds of peaceful activities that maybe you haven't given enough attention to. It's important to start this month with that flavour of energy. Now, on the 5th of the month, we've got Mercury joining the Sun in this 6th house for you. And also on the 18th month, a new moon in the 6th house. So for you, Pisces, a lot of focus on the 6th house of health and well-being. And an opportunity to rejuvenate and recalibrate and recharge your batteries this month, especially on the 18th with the new moon. And don't forget, this is for Pisces Sun, Ascendant and Moon. So what can you do to re-energize yourself? You might work with energy work. You might do some special meditations. You might be working with energy healing. Good time to revisit your diet and the foods that you're eating. But it's an important time to recalibrate your physical being. You might be starting a new job. You might be taking your work in a new direction. You might be looking at your work from a new angle. and wanting to be of more service at this time. And on the 8th of the month, Venus is going to go into your 5th house. Oh, what a wonderful place for Venus. Venus likes being in the 5th. This can bring romance to your life, but it's also good for your own business, for doing something you enjoy, for playing, for being playful. It's a wonderful time for launching a new business idea. It's a wonderful time for doing anything creative, for cooking, for planting things, for working with animals, for painting, for doing something musically. Anything that makes you smile. That Venus brings you a lot of joy in the 5th house. And on the 20th of the month, we've got Mercury going into the 7th house of relationship for you. And on the 23rd, the Sun going into the 7th house of relationship. So relationships are really in the spotlight for you as we move towards the end of the month, lovely Pisces. So an opportunity for a new relationship to come into your life. An opportunity for some good conversations, good discussions with Mercury there. For being able to listen to one another's viewpoints. Clearing the air. For having more sun shining in your relationships. And for you, Mars all month going to be in this 2nd house and for many months to come. In the 2nd house, so a really good time for putting energy into your finances, dear Pisces. For being proactive. Not being a victim, but saying, hey, I can do it, I can make it. What else can I do? This doesn't work, let me try something else. And something else. And it's a really good time for putting energy into your talents, your gifts. And goodness knows, Pisces, you've got many talents and gifts. Put some energy, focused energy into them and watch it pay out at the other end. So, my lovely dear ones, thank you. I cannot believe that I actually managed to do all 12 forecasts in one video. I didn't think I'd have the stamina to do it, but evidently I was wrong. So, thank you, Lucy, for your patience and for coming online so quickly. We're all doing everything off the cuff here. We're making mistakes. You're seeing that we're all human and that it's okay to make mistakes. And I'm reminded of my wonderful Benjamin Zander, director and conductor of the Boston Philharmonic, who is such an inspiration to me. I just love this man so much. He says that when somebody makes a mistake in any of his classes, this is how he teaches, that's why he's such an inspiration, is instead of saying, oh, you made a mistake, duh, that you would go, how interesting. How interesting is it, yeah? Because you've made a mistake, but there's always something you can do about it. You can change it, you can own it. And we're all making mistakes, but let's just say, how interesting. Because he always gives people, at the beginning of his course, he gives everybody an A. At the beginning, not at the end. And then he encourages all his students to live up to the A that he's given them at the beginning. And they all want to perform and produce to live up to the A. So, thank you so much of you for your patience today. From Teddy and me, thank you Lucy, thank you Sherry. I hope that you've enjoyed these forecasts. I'd love your feedback. I'd love to know if you like this format, if you don't, suggestions, comments, feedback. I'm open to it. That's what this is about. You're my family. You're sitting with me in my lounge today in Marathonas. So please share and let me know what you'd like. Much love. Bye for now.